seeing what this how truly
This
happy it is.
this time it didn't come about because
That's something that you have to
wanted
try.
it to.
No, it's right there.
See, you're either
Just
you
came
get happy because you're happy because you're
There was a
aware
break.
of
The beauty of everything and the joy.
Yeah. That's hard.
I'm
I
sorry, I
think
don't.
You'd have to
I'm
be
more
pretty
into the timelessness
open-minded
of it rather than the
to be able.
people will say to me,
share.
well, when you went to Carol's house, did she have a whole bunch of tulips in the front yard and did she have
It's so
paintings inside
primal
the
though,
wall?
like
Now,
really
how
much-
like,
how
I don't look
How
at,
much
I don't
does
look,
it
I'm
look?
so inward into the spirit
know
world
if
that I don't look at it. This is someone's yard or something. I mean, I get involved with them, I don't even look.
Right.
Say that
I'm looking at the sky and I'm
my
looking at
soul's-
them and I'm not
just
looking at
like
what's
a
in it. So
woman,
people go,
you
you
know?
were
I know
in her house
exactly
for
how
2
it
years,
is, 'cause I'm
20 times in the last
what to
month.
And you didn't
And
see
you don't know
this
what
now?
color her wall is? I
I
go,
could do
why
it
would I want
100%.
this?
But
Unless it was,
if
I'm
women
starting
are
to do that
different,
now, this is in the past, I'm
What does
starting
it
to
really a
really,
woman need to get from a man?
because it helps you stay in the
She
moment by
needs-
looking at
24/7 to be
someone else's
Right.
create, like Carol's
And
painting
she
here, I've been looking at
more
it for
self-sufficient
3 hours
than-
here.
You
And
could
see
be
something
50-50.
different all
I
the
think-
time.
I don't think anybody needs to
spaceship
be
back
with
there on
somebody
the
24/7. I think that's too much. You know what I'm saying? I think people, even what Freedom said, you know, having your own space. It's a
Yeah,
good thing.
yeah, your own
But-
space.
Happens
That's
is
what I
But
be
would you be
successful at
okay
something
with her
and you just
sleeping
keep
with another
progressing
guy?
with it. That can be
Both of the
happy
women that
if you
you're
just-
involved with, would you be okay with them
journey.
having
The very
another
first lesson
relationship
on the
with a
journey
man
to get to
and
be a
sleeping
good
with
trumpet
you?
player
no,
is
I probably
fun.
wouldn't, man, no.
because
You wouldn't be okay with that?
you're learning something, you get
If
going
they
for the
did
next
it,
step
I just would
in
lose
learning.
interest in it.
I started out
Because
strumming
I
three
would
chords
feel
on a
like-
guitar, playing
Because
some Bob
I
Dylan
would feel like,
songs.
well, they need to be with
1974
this guy.
on a
They don't need to be
guitar.
with me. So,
Where I didn't
Let
even
that
know how he
continue.
sang them.
So
and I
you,
move, I
It's a
move
song.
on.
So I
So
sang them
you
when I
can-
was out
And they don't
first.
do that.
Before I
so
ever
you
listened to
want
him.
two women to
I
be
love
with
his words,
you
like
full time.
Mr. Tambourine Man and
No, they don't need to be with me full
Not
time.
full time,
some of
but
his early stuff was
sexually
really where I was at
be
the
with
time.
you and only you.
Because I was going through it 10
But
years
they
later.
cannot
he
be
was.
with another
Oh yeah,
man.
that could be fun, not even knowing.
Or else you
you're
would
sure.
lose
I don't
interest
say
in
that
it.
they
You know,
can't,
you
though.
just
They say
Finally,
they
finally
can.
find yourself.
I'm leaving them for a long time. They
Whatever
can
you
do
do.
whatever they
We're
want.
always on a journey, man.
I don't.
Yeah.
I
Like
can't
the Appalachian
control
Trail,
them because I'm
that's-
thousands of miles
That's
away.
just thinking
They
about
can
that is
do
like,
it.
Yeah, the
wow.
reason I
But
didn't do
if
it,
they
there was
do,
too much walking for
and
me.
they're honest with me and they tell me, I'm
Plus,
probably
not a
not going to
mountain,
be
I'm over by the
interested
sea.
in it anymore that they could be with that
Like
guy.
hiking, that's a lot
Because
of
I'm
work.
not going to
Or
move
maybe
back
like-
that
you
way.
can
Yeah.
understand their
If you
point,
might-
you
you
know,
might
want to
it's
do
like
that.
you can't get
You
upset.
might just go into
Yeah,
town more
you know,
often.
get
I wouldn't be
frustrated.
No, you gotta
I'd be
carry a
upset,
big
but
bag.
It'd be
Yeah.
worth getting
Oh.
frustrated.
If you
You know?
would
Thing
tell
on
me,
the back.
It's like if you're not
Well, you get a
okay
horse or
with
something.
us
You get a horse
with
for
this
the thrill.
being a
Yeah.
3-man deal,
You can ride, you can,
then
sure you can ride
bounce
it. Sure you
because
can ride a
it's
horse.
not gonna work and it's not worth my time because it's probably just
Yeah, I never
not
thought of
even.
that. I might do it
You know,
now.
I couldn't do that.
You gotta learn how to ride a horse first.
Couldn't do that.
could do it.
I
How would you
couldn't
do that,
share my boyfriend
Why I
with
would
another
wanna
girl.
do it, because I've been with people that had horses who were
Point
were
blank
raised
period.
like
Boyfriend
dogs.
right now.
Yes.
You know,
Any
boyfriend
boyfriend.
hugging and, you know, and
But I don't know,
Petty
you know
and
what I'm
stuff,
saying?
you know.
Like, I've
Yeah.
never, it
saying
might
the horse was a
be,
little baby horse.
being free
You
and
grew up
being
like, you
able
know,
to have
so
sex with
friendly.
anybody might be the
Then I'd
better
ride
way.
one of
And it
those.
probably is.
Yeah.
My own
But
horse.
what you're saying is you
Somebody,
wouldn't,
hey,
you wouldn't be okay
like
with,
a,
you
you know, and then
wouldn't
jump on his
be
back.
totally in love with the
Just
woman
play with
anymore
her a
if
little bit,
she
and it
wasn't
just likes
with
to have you
you.
there.
And so she
Yeah.
feels the
Jump
same way,
off
but we're
it,
supposed to be free even if this is so
And he'll stay with
instinctual,
you
like
a
we
dog
just,
stays.
like, want.
Unless
you
people
know,
freak it, but then,
It's
you know, the
weird, like,
dogs will.
because Carol and I, like I said, we've had this conversation
People are
before
usually like weary of a
about
horse.
monogamy and,
Yeah.
you know, what is really right.
So,
And it's like, it's hard
It's
to
very difficult.
wrap your head
No
around
doubt, yes.
being,
That's why you get
You
right around, you know, you
Well,
start.
certainly we have to
I'm
gonna
understand that
follow this
one, so
conversation for a
what's
second.
good for one has to be good for all.
yeah.
There has to be equality.
But if it's that way, then everybody has to be, you know, open with everybody. It has to be like totally 50-50, you know, like, okay,
Well, if we're seeing everybody as a body, but we can always be spirits here.
That's right.
yeah.
And it's a lot easier to just be a spirit than a body, because when we get into the body, then we create this idol. Now, if all of a sudden Jay fell in love with some other woman or was attracted to somebody from the past, come into his life, that'd be very wounding to you. So whenever we're in a special relationship like that, there's all these big elements of fear. And that's
Yeah.
not fun. Perfect love really has no
Well, you-
fear.
But see, you said it was like a definite, Carol. You can get over the fear.
Well,
I mean,
You know,
it'd
it's
be hard. It
because
would be.
it's called
It
being
brings
attached,
up
not attached.
emotions. Like, it's so many
That's what
emotions
you're
involved
attached. That's what
with
brings the fear.
that action. You know, because you are involving yourself in that.
That's it.
Really, you're not just a spirit. You're not. You're so involved
Well,
with
you
that
can
one
be
person that it would just be
more
you
of
know.
a spirit if you'd like to be. That's kind of a decision.
That's okay, that's the unattachment part. I'm saying that's what we were talking about, the body. You can be a body, you can respect a body for being a body and being in love with someone. I don't want to fall in love anymore, because I don't want to fall anymore. I'd rather call it being in love.
Uh-huh.
There's a difference between being in love and just loving somebody as a human. There's nothing wrong with being in love, and you can eliminate fear, even if you're attached to somebody to the extreme earthly way you can still be unattached at the same time. That's what the book Be Here Now is all about. You stand on a bridge and you look at the river coming down, and you go, that's the past, and you look down the river, it's going that way, you go, that's the future, and I'm standing here. Even though I'm totally in love with you. Bob Dylan had a song, he goes, well, I'll look for you in old San Francisco, Honolulu, or Ashtabula. You're gonna have to leave me now, I know. But I see you in the sky above, in the tall grass and the ones I love. You're gonna make me lonesome when you go. But he let her go, because, like they asked him, he goes, are you married to Sarah? And he goes, I live on the planet with her, so I'm with her all the time. You know what I mean? That was one of those, he was like a Thoreau type. So.
No, I think people live in your mind. You don't have to.
I mean, you can be attached to somebody and unattached at the same time. In other words, that was one of the greatest enjoyments of my life, was being in Marin County, where my girlfriend or somebody else's girlfriend and boyfriend could walk around and I mean sexually just hug somebody that they were old flames with from before, but now no sexual intent anymore because she's with him. But they would, oh man, nice to see you, and they love, and just the purity, innocence of love, but not, some people are monogamy, some people are not monogamy, some people, whatever you're into. But the ones who were in the monogamy would not get hassled because someone, he came into their house, went into the bedroom and talked with their wife or something. That's how loose it was. That's once I got a taste of that, it was like, that was it. I go, boy, am I home. Freedom, you know what I mean? Not hung up about.
Right.
But I mean, don't get me wrong, we fall out of it, fall in, fall out, but that was the aim, was to enjoy ourselves as bodies, but not get attached to the point where you're gonna, like, if I'm in town, I've been in town, and an old girlfriend came into town, I'm having lunch with her, and my present girlfriend comes walking in, and got hung up about it. I'm going, we've slept together for 3 years. Am I gonna forget that? How close you gotta be to somebody to make love with them for 3 years? What do you think it's like? She's not a whore. This is a woman I live with. So I have her for lunch. I'm in a monogamous relationship with you. I have nothing to do with her sexually. And when, that's why, there was I sabotaged a lot of my relationships when I was really in love, but a lot of the times, I would say more so than not, because I was with American girls a lot, that they just there's a possessiveness to Americans, men and women, the way we grew up. From being 2 years old and things grab from you. Now we just, too much of a crutch on another human being in relationships. Still going on among young kids. Went on when I was a kid. Thinking that person's gonna fucking change your life. Instead of saying, if you grew up spiritual, where you're just happy from being spiritual, really spiritual, not Catholic, spiritual. And then, just have that normal life. I think by 15 or 16, you really are gonna have a great relationship, because you're not gonna be leaning, nobody wants to have anybody needing them that much, or need, you know, you want everybody to be free and be around that kind of stuff.
And
It's
to
just-
be happy with or without you. Because if I'm
That's-
not happy without you, I'm not free in
That's
any
right.
way.
That's what a
shape, or form.
relationship does for you. It makes you
Sure.
happy being alone, because you're living in their essence. It's like you're in love with somebody. So it doesn't matter.
And you don't
It
have
does
to
matter,
be
though.
with them to be with them. Like, a company is really not another body. The whole relationship is basically in your mind.
And
But if you
sexual,
believe
not
that
only in
this
your mind,
other
between your
person
legs.
is your happiness, this other body is what gives me happiness, you're gonna always be in fear, because that body may need to move on. That body might die. Your happiness has to come from within.
That's right.
It can't be that other body. If it is, you're in trouble, because then there's that element
But Carol,
of fear.
can we say it a little bit, can we say it instead of, in other words, you said if you find happiness with another human being and that person dies, then you're not happy. When you say it the way I said it, it was like you can enjoy happiness with another human being. You can have an orgasm for 4 hours straight, just to be facetious for a moment. But you're not attached. Even when it's happening,
I think for a woman, that's not possible.
for a woman it's not
Don't you
possible.
agree?
You gotta go to Marin County, you gotta spend 15
What,
years
for
in Marin
an orgasm
County.
for 4 hours?
No.
Women were,
No,
oh,
that-
it wasn't a
Wait,
woman
what's not
man
possible?
thing.
I'm sorry, I wasn't
Huh?
paying attention.
That if you enjoy this divine orgasm with this person,
Mhm.
you do become attached. It's, for women, this is very difficult.
So there's nothing wrong with
I mean,
being
not
attached, I'm
really.
saying as long,
Like, if he's a good guy and you can sense that, like, if you have good intuition and you know, like, he's a good guy and it turns out to be, you know, you
But
have
he's
really
not
good
a
sex,
bad
and it's
guy
like, yeah,
if
you
he
might get attached. and-
Meets a soulmate from another life, and he's supposed to get in touch with her
Yeah.
and be with her. That doesn't make him a bad guy. Do you
No.
know what I mean? If we
It
really
doesn't, just
love
means you need to
somebody, we
move on.
should be able to
You
give
need to
them
move on.
freedom without anger.
Yeah.
but
I
if you
hate
tell her, I think it's honest to tell her.
Oh my god, yeah, no, he has to, like, come to her in the most respectful way and be like, listen, I found my soulmate.
Or I found a person that I just have to